All right, let's talk more about Myles Garrett because I don't know about you guys. I'm more excited about Myles Garrett's upcoming season than any prior. Yeah. I really believe that last year we saw him turn a corner. He was already great. I think we're ready to watch him become this sort of Aaron Donald takeover, big spots. We know he can take over a game, but big spots when you need that sack. I think he's ready to become that guy. Kevin Stefanski asked about Myles Garrett after yesterday's workout. Stevie, roll this. Listen to this, and we'll talk about it on the backside.
I know that Myles is a great player. I think he can get better. And that's conversations I've had with Myles and a bunch of our players is never settling on where you are. And potential is just that. It's potential. So I think he has an opportunity to get better. There's areas of his game that he's talked with Coach Kiff about wanting to improve. So when he's out there and on the field and with the team, I think he's working on those things.
By the way, congratulations to Coach, who recently got a job. He's recording videos and audio to put people to sleep, help you fall asleep.
Yeah, he's
nice
got an
word.
insomnia app. Hi, my name is Kevin Stefanski.
The app's name is Melatonin.
He even had
It's
the
nighttime
dramatic.
now.
He and Andrew Berry are getting a dual package.
He had dramatic noir lighting in that too, from his hat brim. If you noticed,
Exactly.
That's
all part of the insomnia thing.
Yeah, he's great at saying nothing. He's mastered the art.
You know what I liked, though? The message in there, to me, this is my takeaway, was here's a superstar, bona fide superstar, Pro Bowl player, one of the best at his positions.
Yeah.
And he's still talking about getting better.
Yeah.
That's what I like.
There's this quote from Joe Woods I found recently that I thought was interesting, too, because there's a little shade in here if you listen to it. He says, for him, it's more about consistency. When you look back at some of the plays that he left out there last year, for me, playing as hard as he possibly can on every play, because when he does that, he's unblockable, in my opinion. He's essentially saying he took some plays off.
That is shade.
Right?
He's calling them out. Yeah.
So he's saying,
Love it.
do you think that, and that's motivational.
Love it.
And
Absolutely.
is that true? Was that a gripe on him
I think
last
that's
year?
a fair criticism. There's times he's invisible.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah. I think when you look at, I've never played defensive end at the level this guy's played. But when you look at Myles Garrett's game, one of the things that he should be able to do at his size, and you got to think about it. He's the prototypical defensive end, but he has the elite size. Like the only guy that's really been big, like Reggie White, is 300. Myles Garrett is like 285, right? But he's faster, stronger, more agile, can bend at the waist more than Jadeveon Clowney, who's 20 pounds less than him. When you look at Myles Garrett, he should be not only 16 sacks right there. The tackles for loss should be crazy, and his game could go to another level if he played the run like that. I would like to see more penetration from him on run plays. When you look at Aaron Donald, you know he's there, even when it's not a sack. He's in the backfield. Yeah. He play action. He's back there. Running backs are having to stop their momentum because Aaron Donald's blown the play
Well,
up.
he made the play that secured the Super Bowl last year.
He did. There's no doubt. And listen, Aaron Donald is in a class by himself. But to be fair to Myles Garrett, it was better last year, but he's been double-teamed more than any defensive end
Donald
in the game.
sees double teams. Donald sees double teams all the time.
Right. But I'm not comparing him to Donald.
Yeah, he's
I'm not,
a superhero.
Donald is belongs. There's no conversation.
But half of Donald,
he's a million times better than anybody else.
What makes Donald great, though, is his motor. He never stops.
There's no doubt. He does disappear at times. I don't know if it's always a motor thing. Sometimes you're getting double teamed, triple teamed. You're not going to always win a
to
battle.
me like he's picking his spot.
That's what I'm asking. Does he take plays off because he's like, I'll get him next time if I can take a breather here? You'd know better than I would. Is it a conditioning thing? He looks like he's in decent shape.
Well, I'll give you this. The 1 year he had COVID.
Affected the whole rest of the season.
That was 2 years ago.
Yep, that's true.
Even when he came back, he wasn't the same.
I had
not the same
COVID
guy.
twice. It's different. I'm just now getting the level of oxygen out, and I don't do nothing. I just walk on a treadmill.
I don't know. You hit the gym pretty hard yesterday.
Bull,
he was
I like it.
moving iron and cardio.
Were you next to him in there on the treadmill? No? All right, never mind.
He was not.
But we were doing a
I
competition.
tried it at home.
All right.
he got his work in other places. Right?
I got it.
Now, I will say this. And the only reason I'm saying this about Myles Garrett, because I feel like Myles Garrett, right now, if he quit playing right now, he'd probably make the Hall of Fame.
Wow.
I don't think so. I don't think his career's
what I'm saying is, if he had the type of career that he had right now, I look at it like Gale Sayers, right? Gale Sayers didn't have the crazy career. He just got injured and was done. I look at Myles Garrett as one of the most, talent-wise,
I wouldn't
probably
trade him for any defensive lineman in football, and that includes Donald because of age.
And he's longer.
Donald's 31 years old. Everybody thinks he's so much older because he's talking about
Yeah,
retiring.
Myles Garrett is what, 25?
Yeah, but I mean, at 31, let's face it, you can still. He was the most impactful player
Right.
on the field.
But I'd
last
rather
year
have
in the
6
biggest
more
game.
years of Myles Garrett. Even as good as Donald.
I agree
But
with
even
that.
if you want to take out Donald, I wouldn't trade him for any of the other pass rushers.
Myles Garrett should be better than Aaron Donald. He should.
Wow. You
He
hear
has
that,
more
Myles
physical
Garrett?
better
traits.
physically.
Like,
He has a
physically,
bigger
this
traits, way better traits than Aaron Donald.
And he dunks like he's an NBA player.
He is the most physically gifted defensive lineman I think maybe in the history of football. But
he looks better than anybody
I
I've
kinda
ever
hate to
seen.
say- but I almost hate saying that because it kind of gives people an opportunity to kind of downgrade him. Maybe he's not working hard enough. I don't buy any of that. I don't know. You would know better than me as a defensive lineman. I don't buy that he takes plays off. I think he's getting double teamed
Would
and
you
triple
agree,
teamed
though?
more than anybody
There's
else.
been games, even last year.
Yes, where he needs
I'm
to
looking.
do better.
I'm saying is 95 on the field.
There is some missing consistency. He's been affected, I think, by injuries more than others, and there's no excuse for that.
Yeah.
He's got to play through it with his ability.
I'm fascinated by your Woods comment because I think you're exactly right. I think that was intentional. Coaches, before they make a comment like that,
By the
especially
way,
to
look
him.
at that stat. Highest pass rush win rate
Yes.
as an edge rusher.
No, I know. That's
This
impressive.
propaganda that TJ Watt's better than Garrett because he had a few more sacks is nonsense. Sacks are part luck.
Watt seems to impact games more.
But we're
than
not
Garrett
You know what?
does.
We're not watching Watt every game. Like
No,
we're watching
but I watch
Garrett.
a lot of Steelers football. I think
He's-
everybody here
he's-
does.
He's pretty. I think that what they want him to do, and I think Myles Garrett is locked in this year. If you see, Myles Garrett has always been a happy-go-lucky D&D dinosaurs dude. He ain't
Dinosaurs,
He ain't got that type vibe this year. That vibe, like he seems like
He put his toys away.
Yeah, when you get past a certain age and you start thinking about stuff as men, like, okay, what is my career about?
What's
What
his
is my
legacy?
legacy?
Yeah.
What am I out here to do? Like, am I out here to just get this money? He got the contract. So I think when
Time
you
to pack up this train set I've been working on.
when
You know
Myles
the one
Garrett is
thing-
there, he's ready to go. He's ready to go now.
In the past, the one thing that I haven't liked, I hate even saying this because I love Myles Garrett. I mean, I really do. We're picking fault at a Mercedes Benz here.
Yeah.
But the one thing that I haven't loved about him in the past is that he has talked a lot about individual accomplishments. I want to be the defensive MVP. I want to lead the league in sacks. I just think that, not that he's not a team first guy, but I do think there is a bit of, he's a stat accumulator.
He's young, too.
And you see that he gets a lot of sacks late in games that are already decided. I just feel like, and I think this is Joe's motivation, if I can get the Myles Garrett that jumps off the tape on the highlight reel, if I can get more of that,
Yeah.
everybody's better for it. And I think we can all agree that he could be that much of a takeover player for more of the football game.
There's still
Anybody
one more
disagree with
left.
that?
There's still one. I don't have a problem with him wanting to win individual.
Yeah, me
I don't have
neither.
any problem with
I don't
that.
have a problem.
But I do agree that he could. There is even another level to his
What
game.
would you say to a quarterback, though, that came out and said, my goal is to lead the league in passing this year?
I think offense and
I
defense.
think
is-
we'd all kill him for
I think
that.
offense and defense is two different things. Offensive mentality is you realize that you got to have 11 guys. The offensive line has to block, the receiver has to catch the ball, the quarterback has to throw the ball to the right person, and it has to be a system where the coach wants you to throw
And
the
Myles
ball
Garrett's been asked about these things. Like the reporters will ask him, "Would
Right.
you like to lead the league?" Like I feel like he's not just saying this out of the.
No, I know. No, he's not. He's not
He hasn't
volunteering
gone in
that.
his
You're
front
right.
yard.
But in my view, I'd rather
Yeah.
hear him say, "I'm not worried about individual numbers or accomplishments. If I play great, our team's going to have great
But
things happen."
I'm not going to kill him for honesty. Every player wants to lead the
Yeah,
league.
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
want to kill him for that.
Statistical
I just
category.
wish that he would talk more about team achievement and less about individual
I
achievement.
want my defensive players to be hungry. Like you got to play defense with an attitude, a personality, reckless abandon,
That's
and,
fair.
And you want them to have every edge you need. Him and Jadeveon Clowney, I would tell them, walk into the room. You two, you said y'all the best. I need at least 15 from you, Clowney. You've been at 9 and 10.
Yeah.
That ain't it. If you want to be known as one of the top, you guys are the #1 overall picks.
Yeah.
You guys, I need 20 from you, 15 from you. Can you
It's
sign
not,
me up for that?
It's not even the sacks, just the sack number. But I don't know. I think if TJ Watt and Myles Garrett had switched teams, there'd be a much bigger difference between the two, and Myles Garrett would. There'd be no doubt that Myles
You
Garrett. was
really
better.
have some TJ Watt.
I think he's a little. He's really good. I just think I don't buy that he's better than Myles Garrett. I just don't.
We can't agree, though, that, I mean, I know this goes without saying, but we're excited that he's lining up on the opposite side of Clowney.
That helps.
2 years in
He
a
had
row.
nobody with him
exactly.
before
And 2
last
years
year.
in a row. He might have, at some point in his career so far, lined up opposite the same guy 2 years in a row, but it wasn't Clowney-level person.
Yes.
I can't remember who it was. But, like, the fact that you have a year under your belt of knowing where that guy's going to be, knowing his moves, like, and you guys are on the same page for once, rather than trying to meet a new partner every single year, I think that's going to help him
And
a lot.
he's never had a good defensive tackle. He's never played with a good defensive tackle. Never.
And if
Watt has his whole career.
If Deshaun Watson is suspended, it's an imperative on Myles Garrett to carry the squad. He has to be crazy. If he gets suspended 4 to 6 games, he's supposed to be Myles Garrett is the defensive player of the year because we can't block him. They can't score.
Yeah.
It's up to that guy to carry the load because that's what great teams do. I saw Reggie White carry the Eagles. They had no offense. Reggie White was destroying people.
Bruce Smith.
Lawrence Taylor. He wrecked a whole game.
Ray Lewis.
Those type guys will hold a whole team down, and I think he has that talent. He just has to go out and kick it up another notch because we all know he can.
By the way, guys, can we get a stat on how often Myles Garrett is double teamed compared to other players, both
Work
last
on that.
year and career?
That's good.
Can we
That's a
find
tough
that?
ask. I don't even know if they keep that because
Find it, Mike.
Listen, we'll.
good luck if you can
Yeah,
find
we'll
that,
try.
because there are a lot of times where you're not even sure.
Yeah.
I mean, playing that position with the protect package that's in and guys are sliding, but maybe they're
They give
half
you,
blocking
it's a third.
Myles,
He
but
give you a
there's-
little hand. It's
yeah,
a third
so
eye.
he's got a
Like, it ain't-
responsibility to help with Myles, but he's also got responsibility. with
Make
someone
one up,
else.
put a
I'm just
graphic
thinking-
together.
I just really feel like in this town, the 11 years I've been living here, I feel in general fans are too easy on their players. But when it comes to Myles Garrett, I feel like it's the opposite.
Oh yeah, they were way too easy on
Fans are-
Baker Mayfield. You're right. Way too easy.
That's 100% true.
They are.
Are you kidding me?
Half the fan base was apologizing
He's-
for every mistake he
he's
made.
gone.
Talk about selfish players.
He's gone.
Talk
Hey,
about selfish players.
Myles Garrett made
He
Pro
was
Bowls.
upset when they beat the Lions. He didn't want to talk to the media.
He's
They
gone.
won the game, and he was upset because he didn't play well.
So let me recap.
That's selfish.
Let me recap.
That's selfish.
The guy comes in,
Yeah.
breaks the playoff drought, wins a playoff
Is the
game.
goal to win a playoff game or win
beats
the
the
Super Bowl?
Steelers in a must-win
Yes.
situation to get to the playoff game.
Yes.
Is within a pylon bad call and a 4th down conversion of going to the AFC Championship game,
Didn't win.
and
Every
we were
game's
too
close.
easy on him.
Yes.
You were too hard on him, Bull.
No.
Yes,
No.
you were.
I was complete. What did I say
You
was
were
unfair?
absolutely.
What did I say was unfair?
I've heard you say he stinks countless times.
No, I say he's average.
You've said he stinks.
but I
I've
don't
heard
really
those
mean
words
it. He's
come out.
average.
There are certain
You
games. he
mean it or
stinks.
you don't? When you
There-
say a guy stinks, you
there-
own
there-
it.
There are
average.
there are certain games. I mean,
he
he
has
did-
stunk in a lot of games.
he
Well,
threw-
sure, every quarterback
He
has.
threw for
This
71
idea that
yards against the Patriots.
the idea that he won a playoff game, so he's owed something,
So
is
then you bring up,
garbage.
well, Tim Tebow won a playoff game
right.
too.
TJ Yates. I
He
can name
won
a million
playoff
guys
game,
who won one
but
playoff game.
Bull, as
Yeah.
you're watching Baker and the Browns
Yeah.
leading the Chiefs in Kansas City, the team
Yes.
that everybody thought was going to win the Super Bowl, they're in control of that football game. Now, granted, Mahomes was out.
That's a huge
But
difference.
it is a huge difference.
They
But it's
would've
not
gotten
like he
blown
didn't
out if
play the
Mahomes
whole
didn't get
game.
hurt.
He did play a lot of that football game.
He didn't play the whole second half.
He played part of the second half. He got hurt
when
in the
did he
third
get hurt?
quarter.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
He played against the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
I saw Joe Burrow throw for 500 against the Chiefs to get him in the playoffs.
I also I saw Baker Mayfield last year tear the Bengals apart.
I give you that.
Tear
But
them apart.
In
Yeah,
the
did
two,
not-
in the
did
two,
nothing
in the
the
two,
rest of
in
the
the
year.
two games
He's
that
8-9.
in the 2 games that
No,
Baker
he didn't win
Mayfield
that. He
had the
didn't win
football.
2 of those games.
He had the football at the end of the game.
Yeah.
What happened? There was 2
What always
interceptions.
happens, he never comes
You're
through.
right. That we turn this into a Baker
No, no, hey,
Mayfield.
it's not
Baker
right.
Mayfield is
My-
tearing this panel apart.
My point is,
Just like he tore the city apart.
my point is that fans have been overly critical of Myles Garrett. The Browns have, since they've been back in '99, have not had a single good pass rusher. Not one. Myles Garrett had no good teammates on the defensive line until Clowney last year.
Listen,
not one. And yet he dominates.
He's not torn apart by the fans, Myles Garrett.
No.
I mean,
I'm not saying he's torn apart.
Are there
I
critics?
feel like people are overly critical.
Even this panel, though, Bull said,
Yes.
when you look at the guy, he's all world. No. He should be the most dominant pass rusher in the game, but he's not.
He's one of the three best players in this franchise in the last 25 years.
No, he's like we treat him like my third grade teacher, Miss Carroll, treated me, where she was like, you just have so much more potential. I expect more from you, and I think you can do
That's the worst thing someone can say.
But Miss Carroll loved me, and she thought I was great.
The reason we are still critical is because we have such high expectation, and that's fair. But I've had people call me and say, this guy's overrated. No, he's not. He's got nothing around him.
I think you're always going to find factions. You're going to find people. But I think if you took the temperature of the Browns fan base, they are not hating collectively on Myles Garrett.
No, I'm not saying they're collecting.
And they're not even overly hard on him. What they are on him is, to Mike's third grade teacher point.
Miss Carroll.
And you only say this of someone who's already great, but you expect them to be the greatest. I expect a little more from you. And that's what Joe Woods said.
Like his own coach. I do too. I need him. He's great, but he's not been great for an entire season. It's like he's great for 12, 13 games.
We want more of that greatness.